your sentence was a confusing one. So break down
Yeah.
how you ended up with a sentence with no official like release date to it.
Obviously, they brought out a certain sentence in I think it was about 2005. You feel me? But I ended up getting snatched up in 2009, and that sentence was still available back then. And basically,
Oh, what? So they can't get the sentence you got is
it's abolished
done?
now.
Okay,
but I'm still on it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm still under them conditions. You know what I mean? So, but it's I don't know. Chat to what's her name, Theresa May, and all them people about that. I don't know if I'm going on with that, but I'm blessed. I'm here. Anyway, yeah. Basically, yeah. Man went court basically after whatever a long time or whatever, and through the sentence was available. They felt at the time that it was for man. They felt that I need to be in prison like that. You know what I'm trying to say? Indefinitely. Until I could prove myself. In other words, to get out of jail. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really that question how I got that sentence, yeah. Obviously I know why underneath it, but that's not that's like a conspiracy theory. If I say, you know what I'm trying to say? I know what why they did it. I know, you know what I'm saying? I don't need to, but I can't even answer that. You gotta ask the judge. You know what I'm saying? Why you do my man like that? You feel me? He knows why. You get me? They know why. I don't really know. You get me? Because to be honest, they could have just, you know what I'm saying? They could have cut man some slack, but it is what it is, man. Nothing that comes to you isn't for you, innit? You know what I'm saying? It's all. That's what I believe in it. So I'm gonna get that and shake that off. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing now.
So like you were saying there, yeah, like you weren't taking his music as seriously as you would have liked it, and then you went jail for a long time. So when you went jail, was you thinking like what, dead music? Like was music in your mind back then?
Obviously, it used to get me through at certain time. Cause I'll be writing bars or whatever. You know what I mean? And doing what I got to do.
But when you first got in it, you're thinking, "Rah, I've got a track, but I can't release it for 8 years."
Oh yeah, no. But who said that came out while I was in jail as well? I wasn't around. I was away while my tape dropped, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, like, it was just one of them things. But the scene wasn't the scene. Like, to be honest, I just thought it was just, Gigs was just gonna, you know what I mean? Run, like, not solo, like, leave man behind, but I just thought, yeah, that's his thing. This jail thing right now and this street shit, this is my thing right now. This is what I gotta do. So I'm gonna write bars and that, and whatever while I'm here, every now and then. Sometimes I just go hard and do it for weeks and weeks, but, you know, yeah, it only got on my mind properly, if that's what you're asking, near the end. Because now I'm seeing the industry, I'm seeing, like I said, the house is built with all these extensions, all these different kind of rooms, and different kind of... Because that's the way I look at the music team. You know what I'm saying? It's like one big house, and you go in that room, and that music's playing, and it's this kind of style, and you know what I'm trying to say? So as I've seen it built like that now, and I'm looking at it, I'm saying, yo, I need to come back and open back up my little, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that was towards the end though. But throughout the whole majority of it, I was doing it for like same thing. I won't take it serious. Whatever, I'll come out, make tunes. You see what I go on when I get out, you know what I mean? But it's only until the end when I was like, yo, man gotta really come out and push this thing because it can happen, you know what I mean?
You dropped Poppin' Freestyle.
Yeah.
But then that freestyle ended up being like transcribed and used in court.
Oh yeah, no, it didn't get used in court. It got used in my parole hearing.
Okay.
You know so,
but did it eventually count against you?
Oh yeah, of course, 100%. Because it ended up sending me back to normal prison because I was in open jail when I dropped that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it ended up being normal.
What's open jail like? A place for like when you're on the way out and that?
Yeah, basically, if you work when you're on your way out.
Like a low risk one.
Yeah, proper low, the lowest of the low. You know what I mean? Like it don't get lower than that.
Well, and then that track moved you back to a higher risk one.
Basically, yeah, because apparently that track, you know, made my risk high. Like they couldn't manage me because of that song.
So it's like you was manageable before.
Yeah,
the track
yeah.
Now you're unmanageable.
Now I'm unmanageable.
Yeah.
So you work that out. If that makes, like, basically the public's at risk now because this song and I'm saying all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So now we gotta put you back to save the public.
So what do you like? That's mad.
Yeah.
With this whole thing of like like kind of like your lyrics being counted against you. Yeah. What do you say to the current rappers and artists out there right now that do them kind of lyrics? Because there are a lot of songs where people are basically incriminating themselves to a certain extent. So how deep is it?
Me, I'm on a thing like this. Like if you're personally around me, I'm gonna personally tell you like, yo, don't do that shit. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, just forget that. You know what I mean? Do it in another way. You know what I mean? But if you're not personally around me, I couldn't really care less. Like, you do your thing. That's how you wanna. If you think you're gonna pattern like that, you know what I'm trying to say? Do your thing, brother. You know what I'm trying to say? Know what comes with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Bird comes with that shit. Drama comes with that shit. But if you're okay with that, fam, crack on. You know what I'm trying? Who am I to tell you you can't ride 30 years? You know what I'm trying to say? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel like you could do that, and that's what you're willing to, that's what this music is worth, putting on the line, do your thing, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, do your thing, innit? Like, me personally, I ain't doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? If you want some sense, if you think, if you want to know what I think the sensible option is, don't do that shit. That's my personal opinion, though. That's not a fact. You might write a diss song about Tom, go mash up Tom, get a bird for it, and feel okay with it. Who am I to tell you that's wrong? You know what I'm saying? I'm not okay with it. That's why I don't do that shit. I'm not trying to go back to jail. But some man, they don't really mind, innit? So handle your business like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
that's my advice on that.
So Poppin' was on the SN1 folder.
Yeah, that was on the SN1 folder.
With that project, you had words on there, innit?
Yeah.
Personally, like, in my opinion, I feel like that was one of the better tracks. Like,
yeah, of course.
On the thing. But then when I heard it, I was like, yo, I swear he's like locked up.
Yeah, I was locked up.
How did that track come about?
Because I was in open jail, I was coming out.
Okay.
For days, and I was just making the tunes for the folder. You feel me? So that's how that come about. But like I said, like, you're obviously a real listener, supporter of this thing, so you know them tune there. But yeah, that was just something that I felt.
Was you getting, like, when you did these little tracks, like on day release or whatever? Yeah. Were you getting love, like, when they dropped, like, in jail?
Yeah, I was getting love for them core supporters or them real. You know what I mean? But then when I started but in a way, it's kind of good that happened, because when I started when that SO1 folder dropped, that kind of gave me like a taste of what the roles are really trying to hear. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
You feel me? So
yeah.
I started like, even amongst my brethren, I'm running them certain things, and because they've been so, you know, warped up in all this new kind of rap and obviously I was fucking with it, but I clocked that, right, this is for, you know what I'm trying to say, like, maybe people like yourself that really listen to rap, you know what I'm trying to say. So in a way, yeah, that's what that tape did for me.
Gave you a little taste.
Gave me a little taste of what's to come, and it's like, all right, cool. This is what they're ready for, and this is what they're not ready for, or this is what they don't know that they're ready for yet. You know what I'm trying to say? You feel me? Because that was a real shit. But
so then, when you got free, that day, what do you feel? Like, you've been locked up for 8.5 years, On that day, what do you feel?
Like, I didn't even know I was coming out that day. Hollow was supposed to tell me, and he forgot. So that day I was going around jail as normal. You know what I'm saying? And then basically I went to my workshop because we were working in there, you know, and the woman was like, yo, you know you're supposed to get on the discharge list and that, you feel me? And I was like, what? Like, obviously I knew it was coming, but I didn't know the date when it was coming.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, I didn't know. So that was even better. So that's how, like, I was just like crazy, surprised.
Yeah.
The best day of my life just come to me, like, out of the blue.
You didn't even have time to prepare for it?
Nah, I wasn't prepared at all.
Okay.
I literally, like, wrapped it up that day and I got out, and then I just remember I was trekking because I didn't have no phone and that. It was all political. But then Hollow sent me in a limo.
Jesus.
So I just hopped in the limo and I was like, yeah, I'm back. You feel me? I'm back. That's how I felt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, yeah. Like, from that moment there when I was cruising in that limo, I was just like, yeah, bro, flag. I just fuck that place. You know? Like, literally. Like, I was just like, yeah, I know this is where I'm meant to be. You feel me? So it was that. It was just that, yeah, like, I just give me that sense of feeling like, yo, the man them's, obviously, the limo ain't nothing really but like that, but it's like, it just let me know, like, yo, the man them, we on the way up.
Like you can have this if
you can have this if you want it. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
More motivation from basically that's the word. I was like, yeah.
That's a mad transition to go from jail cell to...
I'm talking workshop, like literally in the morning I'm going to do workshop. If you know about jail workshop, you know that shit there is mind numbing. You feel me? Like that is mash your brain up. You feel me? Like it's just straight numbing work, fam. Like sometimes you ain't got no work. You're sitting there for 3 hours straight. Like as close as me and you are now, you feel me? With the same person every day. So we're talking now because we're doing this interview and it's flowing. But how many of these interviews can you do every day with the same person?
Yeah, that's long.
You understand?
That's long.
Plus, you're already in a place that you don't want to be. The feeling is unexplainable.